welcome to the KVJ Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Yeah, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Welcome to your Wednesday. Here we go. Got a lot of great stuff to get to. Thank you for the emails. Had a big Taylor Swift winner today as well. That was exciting. First round of tickets on that. The person was very excited. And some people had heard how many times the person had tapped the track. Just to clarify, because I think somebody thought it was a contest to see who could ever tap the track the most gets the tickets. Now, what it does, it just increases your chances. It's a random drawing, and the more chances that you have in there and the more times you tap the track, it increases your odds of winning, but it doesn't guarantee you of winning, and it's not about who taps it the most. It's just how many entries you get.
And we don't pick the winner.
No, we don't.
The computer picks it
Yep.
in the promotions department. We have nothing to do with it.
And no, we're not rigging it,
Yes.
as some people have suggested.
Yeah, I believe that might be illegal. And
We
I
would
ain't-
go to jail if
I
we
ain't-
were rigging it.
I ain't going to jail over a Taylor Swift
No.
ticket giveaway.
I do not care that much.
No,
Uh-uh.
jail time is something we would not be able to shake it off.
Yeah. No.
All three of us would do terrible in jail.
But keep in mind, if you entered 3,000 times, whatever, someone else is doing that too. People are going insane for this contest.
Because you're talking about thousands
Yes.
of dollars for each ticket.
And the crazy thing about it, you could enter one time and still have won.
Sure.
Yeah. It's kind of like the same thing about like playing the lottery.
It's random, baby.
Yeah, it's not about who buys the most tickets. It's about whose number gets drawn. So we are doing more Taylor Swift tickets, though. We got something else that's very special. I know at least by Monday we can give you all the details, and maybe before that. It'll be cool. In fact, it's an elevated experience.
Even better than just tickets to Taylor.
Much better. Yeah. So if you didn't get that, then you'll be all good. We're going to take care of you. Don't worry about it. All right, boy, the top thing we got was emotional moments from movies. We were talking about that earlier. Some of those you just like, wow. You know, I have several movies I just can't watch. They're great movies like Forrest Gump. I can't watch that. The whole scene with him under the tree talking to Jenny. I can't do it. Just too much. Don't love Top Gun because of the goose death scene. I know Bird says it's a necessary part of the movie. I just have a hard time getting through that one. There's just some of those parts in movies. Can't do it.
Death, big part of life.
Yeah.
It's the toughest part of life.
Some
Got
could
to-
argue that, yeah, that's definitely debatable. Right, I agree with you, actually.
What?
Nothing. Shut up, Bird.
Tom had said leaving Las Vegas. Matthew said, I Am Legend when the dog dies. Yeah, any of the animal deaths always get me. The Marley and Me. I haven't watched that movie because I know it's got sad dog moments.
Leaving Las Vegas, that whole movie is depressing as shit.
Heard about that.
It's
yeah.
not a
That's why I haven't
pick-me-up.
done it.
I've
Yeah.
never seen it.
Do not watch that during the holidays.
Somebody even said the Iron Man and the Avengers. Sad. Kayla said My Girl. Remember that?
Veda.
Yeah.
The bee stings, right?
Veda, right?
Takes out Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, and the girl's name is Veda.
Could be.
Yeah, it is.
His name
Stop
is
trying
Darth.
to cram Veda down our throats.
You're right.
How many times are you going to say Veda? We don't know what the f- you're talking about.
That's the main girl's name.
Okay.
My bad, Darth Veda over there dressed in all black, acting all evil. Hey, I'm talking to you, Sinicki.
Beetle, I am not your father.
Sarah said the ending of the Iron Claw with the main character's son hits so hard. We were bawling in the theater. And like I said, it is a weird thing to be in a public space crying with other people and you hear that sobbing when you're watching the movie. Everybody's doing that. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird.
I hate it.
Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of it.
I run away from scenarios like that. I don't want to hear a bunch of people sad and
No.
crying.
I
I
too
can't
much.
handle it. It's too real.
It's too much. Kelly, it said a walk to remember, got several comments on that one.
That one's a tearjerker, Virginia.
Yeah. Was
don't
that the
think I saw
Keanu
it.
Reeves Denny's?
No.
It's what's his
Walk in the Clouds.
Walk in the Clouds. So there's a Walk to Remember and a Walk in the Clouds.
Walk to Remember is a very depressing movie. I believe she has cancer and she's dying. And
So if you start a movie with a walk, it's just going to be when you go for that walk, baby. The ending is going to be sad. And then another tearjerker, Just Mercy. Michael B. Jordan, Brie Larson, O'Shea Jackson, based on true story. 2 big parts that every time I watch, I tear up. If you like that kind of thing, you're going to love it, Jeremy says. Yeah. So there you go. There was some really good, man, oh man, they can really punch you right in the nards, huh?
oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yasik said, Kev, I want to thank you for the show recommendation for The Perfect Couple on Netflix. I think it's the number 1. I just heard my wife talking about it, and other people had mentioned it. So there's something to it, I guess. She said, I watched the whole series in one day. It was that good.
Oh, wow.
Reminded me a lot of The White Lotus. What is perplexing to me is the fact that it's Rotten Tomato scores are still down in the 60s, even on it hasn't cracked 70 yet. It's just odd because I'm hearing so much about it and it's all positive. And why the heck are the Rotten Tomato scores so low?
You might just need to watch it because, I mean, so many people are talking to us about it now.
Other thing too is some people, it's a conspiracy, but some people think there's manipulation going on with Rotten Tomatoes scores.
No.
Might be, yeah.
And
People
a
are
lot of money
involved.
riding on it. There's a lot of money riding on
A
it.
lot of money riding
Well,
on it.
let's say something turns political, for example, and you got people, it's a term the comedians use a lot if they're doing a stand-up and people are bombing it and giving it 1 star. They claim, oh, because I turned political, the one side is going against me and knocking down my grade.
Yeah.
And that's what some people believe. Now,
Okay.
whether it's true or not, I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt it. I think a lot of that kind of stuff happens. She said, my reason for writing, though, is what happened to Nicole Kidman? She just looks like a completely different person than the Nicole Kidman I remember from Practical Magic, or is it just me? I did see just a still shot from it. And the thing that it looked like to me, and I see this a lot around South Florida, people, particularly women, when they have had work done on their face, they start to look like a lion to me.
Lion face.
It's a pretty lion.
Yeah,
It's a very pretty lion.
very feline.
They all kind of start to have the same face.
Sometimes you can do too much filler.
Is that what
And
it is?
It's the filler, but I know what Kevin means. It's almost like the eye part starts to turn feline-like.
Feline. They almost get the nose that kind of starts coming through, almost like a Cindy Lou Who. It just, they all seem to take on the same facial attributes. And it's lioness-like to me.
I think you're trying to plump where there's wrinkles, but there is a point when you have to stop. And I think not all injectors will tell you to stop because they make money the more you inject. If you have a good injector, they will tell you, okay, you're good. You should not do this more and more and more. Because you will start to look like a lion.
Yeah, so that's the one thing I kind of noticed. I think she's at that stage. But, hey, look, I mean, same thing for guys. People were doing videos on Matthew McConaughey saying that his face looks radically different now. Something going on with him.
I think something is going on with him. I looked at those pictures, and he either lost a bunch of weight, and that's what's going on, or he did a little something to his face, and it looks odd.
Yeah.
Just right out with the wrinkles. You talking about McConaughey?
McConaughey,
He
yeah.
should. He would look good with wrinkles. Don't fuck with your face. The rugged look is in.
He might be losing weight for a part, too. That could be it.
He loves doing that, doesn't he?
He does. He does it really well. So that could be what it is.
Yeah. It just happens. Anyway, Yasik said, thanks for the recommendations. Keep it coming. Yeah, I love finding out stuff. That's why I like talking about these kind of shows because, like I said, I don't like wasting my time on crappy stuff. I want to watch good stuff. And if people talk about it enough and I hear enough people say it, after I've heard maybe the 10th review of like, nah, it's solid, dude, and I know what it's about, then I'm like, okay, I'm going to jump into that and love it. Got Cesar. He had a comment here about James Earl Jones said, yeah, I think this is the right way to do it. you know, he has so much voice stuff, like from the Darth Vader that he's done, Lion King, CNN, and apparently his estate, or he actually signed over voice rights to Disney for Darth Vader.
Oh, yeah, they'll fuck it up.
Prior to his passing. Yeah, no doubt they will. But it's the voice preservation. And you do enough voice recording sessions, and now they can use AI, and it can live on forever. They can make any script, type it up, and it will sound just like he's still there.
So he probably got paid for that.
Oh, yeah.
And now that's his legacy that he leaves for his family.
I also even heard they had him record extra lines as Darth Vader for future projects to have for that. And once you have, Cesar's right, once you have that much, you'll be able to
make AI make you say anything.
Luke, I am not your father. What? Holy shit.
Oh my gosh.
Never mind.
What a twist.
Oh, don't worry. Disney will fuck. They'll make Luke and Darth not related, and it'll fuck up the whole storyline.
And it makes sense. It really does. I mean, what a great thing. If you could take care of your family post-mortem and say, hey, my big money maker was my voice, and you'll continue to make the same kind of money that I was doing on voice sessions after I'm gone.
It's a pretty awesome legacy.
It's a great thing to do. I'm all for it. Now, this is part of the regulation that I think needs to happen when it comes to artificial intelligence. I think everybody agree, be like, okay, this is pretty awesome. Yeah, you have a situation like James Earl Jones, that's the way it should be done. Now, in California, Governor Newsom just signed 2 bills supported by SAG and AFTRA's union, prohibiting using digital replicas without performer consent and requiring consent from a dead actor's estate before using their digital likeness, which that just should be a no-brainer.
Of course.
The thing I think will be interesting, and you're seeing this right now with music, as we were talking yesterday about Miley Cyrus and Bruno Mars. What happens if somebody's voice is similar? What happens if somebody looks similar and saying, oh, no. You're like, no, it's... Because I've had that where I'm like, whose voice is that? And they sound very much alike. Now, James Earl Jones, that's why that's so amazing.
Unmistakable.
Yes. You have a few voices like that there's maybe 5 or 10 that there's just, right away who it is. There's no mistaking it. But I could see that being something as well, where somebody finds someone who's the knockoff version, the generic version of whoever they might be, that gets it close enough that it might fool somebody.
Devin Ralston.
Yes, right.
Sounds a lot like Kevin, but not a little slightly. It's kind of like when they do a new Kermit the Frog. It sounds like Kermit, but it's not Jim Henson. You're like, it sounds like Kermit, but it's fucking off.
That guy's leaving a little less of a legacy. The Kevin Ralston voice legacy.
Yeah, not the same.
Not the same value as James Earl Jones.
He goes around town. I am the Devin Ralston.
Have you heard of my son, the quarterback? You know me, braggy all day.
Have you heard of my son, the bookie?
I know you're the least braggy person, and you got called out for bragging when you didn't even brag.
Life, man. Crazy, right? Cheryl in Hollywood said, I was catching up on podcasts and I was just listening to July 1st ATS. You were talking about AI. I have a serious complaint. In the past 2 weeks, I've seen 2 trailers for movies that I was really excited about. Dracula, The Dark Prince, starring Keanu Reeves, and 300, Born of an Empire, starring Dwayne Johnson and Henry Cavill. With much excitement, I then showed both of these trailers to my boyfriend, and he's like, that's not real. That's AI. I was so disappointed. Whoever's wasting my time and toying with my emotions needs to stop. I'm not a fan of this AI.
This happened to me. Remember, I showed my friend. I'm like, they're doing a new Elm Street. They're doing it with the Ortega girl. It's going to be great. I showed him the trailers. Like, dude, these are her other movies. They made this into AI. They made it look like there was a new...
She was doing a Freddy Krueger movie?
Yes, and the whole time I'm going, man, they made Freddy sound like shit. I don't think I'm going to like this new Freddy.
Wow.
Whole thing was fake. I watched a murder documentary yesterday. I'm going, what a story this is. They took stock photos, wrote up this whole fake... It's not even a real case. It was a 15-minute thing. I'm thinking, I'm watching the CSI kind of a thing. none of the case was real. They made it up and they pawned it off like it was a real murder documentary.
And how many likes did it have?
It fooled almost everybody. And someone goes, I did the research. This is stock photos.
Wow.
This is a fake story.
Yeah.
None of this happened. And I looked it
Wow.
up. It never existed.
But yet it's got hundreds of thousands of likes and views.
Oh, it
and-
was this story about this teenage kid who was sleeping with the neighbor, and then they end up killing the husband. And it sounded like a real story.
Yeah.
They had interviews and all this shit. None of it was real.
Dang.
It's going to be really fascinating where the entertainment is going to go. Just going off of what Ashton Kutcher had said that one conference, saying that 10 years or whatever it might be, you're going to be able to dream up whatever and it will create it. AI will make a whole movie. For instance, if you said, hey, I want to watch about a 90-minute movie that has to do with this, or that, or surprise me, and it will know even what you want and it'll feed something up for you.
Whoa.
That'll just look like that. He said, whatever your mind, your ideas can be, AI is going to be able to make, and it would look like anything that they would create in a studio.
Some people believe that's going to be the future of how we get all of our entertainment. If Kevin Ralston's library is not going to be a library where everyone's talking about, oh, Stranger Things. It's going to be what you want, tailor-made to your liking.
Yes.
And you can have a Stranger Things-like kind of series that you type in, but it's going to be your own thing. And that's how people think the content's going to be consumed in the future.
It's going to be really interesting where this thing winds up. And hey, I mean, where we are sci-fi, just think about what we probably weren't thinking of 20 years ago and what's a reality today. So imagine another 10 or 20 years where we're going to be.
It's horrifying.
But my knock on all that is things that hit in pop culture, it's because everyone can share them together.
There's a commonality.
There's a commonality to that. Pennywise the Clown. People know who that they can talk about that. If you're doing everything so specific to your needs, all that's going to do is just drive people away from each other.
I agree. That's what's going to be fascinating. Not only dialing up what you want, but there is a connection. Human beings, we are wired to be connected. I know we keep trying to separate ourselves and get our own little worlds, but we've seen what that does to mental health, and that's not good for anybody.
And I think what might happen, it's going to be a hybrid world where you're never going to get rid of the universal Pennywise or the characters that everyone knows and loves, because we do need that as a species. But I think there is going to be stuff that's so specific to you that you're going to be able to have that kind of content as well.
What would be amazing, imagine a 14-year-old kid that dreams up something and then creates an AI movie, and it's competing with the biggest blockbuster that comes out.
Wow.
That they've just made. I mean, that could be a reality. You could have a viral movie hit that someone created that's on the same level as anything they make.
Like a Grimsley.
How does Cheeseburg feel about AI movies?
I hate anything AI. I think you should use it as a tool for the bitch work you don't want to do. When it comes to creating things, I like when an artist does something that they come out of their own imagination. That's why I like Billy Joel and love Billy Joel. I'm like, what's this guy saying? I can relate to this person. When you start getting robots involved, you lose human emotion. And I do fear people are going to be born into that kind of world, but we're gonna be giving birth to human robots, basically.
Yeah. Well, there's something that I saw that is very similar to all this involving AI that I think will change the future of our show that I'm keeping an eye on. Have you heard about Ask Music? Do you know what that is?
What is that?
It is custom-made music just for you. You describe the kind of music that you would like to hear, and YouTube Music will create a custom station using AI to play exactly that. You describe your music by genre or characteristics. Do you want something fun? Do you want a beat behind it? Do you want something like... And you just keep describing what it is you want to hear, and it could even be multiple stations. Be like, hey, play my fun station, play my this, play my that. And the one thing that I've realized with music, we do smash or trash or the stuff we play. And yeah, there's some stuff where a lot of people like, the majority. But man, just hearing the feedback we get now talking about music, it's so subjective. When you talk about music for people, so subjective, what it is you like. It's almost like a fingerprint that no two people really are on the same footing when it comes to every single song that's out there. I know being in the car with my wife, I'd be like, oh, I love that song. You should be, nope, next.
It's stupid.
Yeah, right. And here we go. But what you'd be able to do with Ask Music, and to me, I love the concept. Now, how it would change our show, I could see it as this, where we create the content we do, and then here's a marker where if you want a song, you plug in what you want to hear. So imagine you could have KVJ with all AC/DC. So we take a little bit of a segment break, and then however that is, then you get a song if you want that. Or maybe it's all talk or whatever it might be.
That's wild.
Yeah, so that could be how KVJ's done in the future. Now, our own personal, I like being live. I like being interactive with an audience, and you have to figure out the timing on that. But that would be kind of cool. That way people can stop bitching about, oh, my God, this song again. Well, you know what? Blame yourself. Because you'd be the one basically being your own DJ playing what you want to hear, or blame AI. Don't blame us.
You gave it the description of what you liked.
Right.
Wait, people have been complaining about the music?
Yeah, so it would be interesting. You know what it is. Now, Remy said the radio would never go for that because they'd lose ad revenue. But here's the thing. We're already having to adapt because you have to go where the audience is. So if you don't have an audience and they're finding other things that cater to their needs, well, it doesn't matter. Because, yeah, you're going to lose all your revenue when nobody's there listening. So you have to change, and that's what we keep doing. I've always believed in that. And, in fact, it's a lot of times I'm dragging people kicking and screaming because they're like, hey, you don't want to change. We don't want to go there, Kev. It's scary.
Kevin's not even actually here right now. Y'all are listening to AI Kev.
It could be. It really could be that way. Yeah, you could do that.
There's times where I thought if Kevin cut his arm and wires came out, I'd go, it fucking makes sense.
Makes sense. I get it.
He's a robot. He's made of steel.
Get it. Yeah. So, you know, who knows? I mean, for us, in 10 years, what this show will be like, we may just create for you every single day 10 segments, and then you do with it what you want. You either listen to them all together or you put music in between them, and whatever your system is in your car, it plays a mix and whatever.
You hodgepodge that fucker yourself.
Yeah, which I love. To me, I think everything should be like that. It should
Custom.
be. Yes. And so we're, you know, as a show, we're already trying to do more bite-sized stuff where you can go on our YouTube and get, for instance, somebody said, hey, I'd love to have Whacked Out News as a separate segment. So I'm trying it this week. So if you love the Whacked Out News and you want it, I'm looking at those numbers, and if it ain't worth my while, I'm going to stop doing it. But right now, I'm carving it out, and I'm putting it up separate on KVJ's YouTube channel.
If you wanted back to back to back to back Dirt of the Day,
you could do it.
We would serve it up.
In fact, probably next week, I'm going to experiment. I'll probably put the Dirts up there solo.
Oh, look at me.
It's all about the numbers. So if you guys see these videos pop up and you like it, be like, okay, you better go hit it because it needs a view.
Well.
Because if not, they're going to die. Because eventually, I would love to see AI just carve it all up for us. That'd be beautiful.
I can tell you this much. I don't give a fuck if you want it or not. You're getting more Bertle juice content.
Yeah.
I don't need nobody to tell me yes or no on that one.
You're not going through this for nothing.
So if you have suggestions, you can let us know. Like yesterday, Emma, or Do It Bitch. That whole thing was up there without music, commercials, all that. You can ride all the way through. And it's kind of interesting, too. That was 17 minutes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, but there was a lot of, if 17 minutes, if it's good, it's good. And if it's not, it's
fine.
not.
It's
yeah.
over three segments. I didn't mind that, but that's what that is. You would get 17 minutes all there without music, commercials. That's what it could sound like for you doing your own thing.
If you went in there and customized it and said, I only want Dirt of the Day, Do It Bitch, and Whacked Out News, you could make your own KVJ 45-minute nugget.
Right.
Yeah,
so if you have a 45-minute commute, you would listen to what you'd be like, these are the 3 things I love from the show and I need every day.
That's kind of cool.
It'd be custom made for you like that. Yeah. So trust me, we're looking at that, and I'm trying to deliver it as soon as we can.
Yeah, and keep in mind, too, we talk about AI. AI is not one of those things where you just hit a button and all of a sudden everything's created. Just like there's still steps you have to do for AI, and there's still
not there yet.
It's not where you hit a button. Oh, I want a meatball sub and turn it into. There's you still got to do some work with it. You just have to.
Yeah.
I like it for bitch work.
Yeah, exactly. So what would be great for us is every single day, we're trying to kind of use it a little bit for the audio, but with the video, it'd be awesome the same thing. Where it's just, hey, carve out every segment, throw it up on our YouTube channel and label it. Cool, done. Yeah. And just to clarify, I'm not talking about ending Whacked Out News. I'm just saying if it doesn't get any numbers, then I'm going to stop going. Because it does. Like Jaybird says, it takes me time to go and I got to carve it out, got to post it up on its own.
Yeah, it's not just, AI, button, bling.
Yeah.
No, it still fucking takes some time.
You have to go and do this and do that. Yeah, it's,
and sometimes AI will fuck you. You have to double check your AI. Because I think AI is trying to make us look stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It's us versus them.
I've been saying it since you met me.
Yeah. So we'll see. So yeah, we still got to do the grunt work on it. We're not there yet, but we're looking at it. It is fascinating to see where AI is going to take us. Jordan, who is Barney, the Frenchie's mom that we saw that watches KVJ TV on her laptop every day.
Yes, I love that.
She said, I was watching this video you might find interesting. It was talking about Sabrina Carpenter and her aunt, Nancy Cartwright, who's the voice of Bart Simpson on The Simpsons, is a big Scientologist, apparently. And now it's being speculated that Sabrina might also be in Scientology, too, because they seem to have a relationship. And after watching Scientology documentaries, it appears as if they're not really allowed to have relationships with non-believers.
Oh.
So, yeah, I don't know how that works.
That is true. We've heard that. And that's why Tom Cruise doesn't really have a relationship with his daughter because she's not a Scientologist. The other daughter is the adopted daughter, and he's got a relationship with her still.
I showed you guys an interview of Tom Cruise. It was some Australian journalist, and to get access to a Tom Cruise, the journalist had to take at least an hour or a 2-hour course at the Scientology Center before he could even interview Tom Cruise.
Oh, really?
That was the conditions of the interview.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know for sure. Now, KJ said I think that's already been refuted when Sabrina was on Girl Meets World. So, yeah, I don't know about that. And I never even knew that Nancy Cartwright was, into Scientology. So, but I did hear her talking about, that's my niece, and she sounded very proud of her. I did hear her clips.
I heard that too. I saw it on TikTok.
You can love somebody and not believe in what they believe in and still support them.
True.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true.
There's a lot of people I love. There's a lot of shit that they believe I don't believe.
I don't think the Scientologists are allowed to have a relationship with a person who's a non-believer.
Yeah,
that's what we've heard. I don't know. Is that true? Is that rumor?
The Scientology, they don't like any pushback on anything. They want you to go along with the program.
And if you don't go along with the program, they want you out of their lives.
Yeah. Guess that's it. That's what they do. Andrew is talking about his experience getting tickets to Oasis. He's the one that has his son Senate. Remember Cadet Cookies that came in a couple weeks back?
Yes. Those cookies were good.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, he remembers growing up, listening to the Buzz 103.1, and I had tickets from them, but unfortunately they canceled the show and then they split right after.
Dang, save your ticket stub from that.
Yeah. So he said, I had to get up at 2 a.m. because, I'm booking through England. But he said the things that help is become a member of their fan club. A lot of times you can do that for free. And also Ticketmaster. They have, kind of like get your own account. For that. But he went through and he was able to get tickets to the Oasis show.
Good. Sometimes, too, if you have a certain credit card, they'll do like a pre-sale with a certain credit card. And you can, if you have an Amex, you get early access. Or if you have a Capital One, you get early access. Look into that, too.
If you care about an artist enough, it would be worth jumping through those few hoops because apparently it does get you better and closer. He said that trying to book in England was easier than the U.S., so they have a better ticket system.
I heard an Oasis song the other day that I completely forgot about, and it's such a jam. I'm free, that I want to be.
Oh, yeah.
That's a jam.
Yeah, they got so many.
They really do.
Yeah, they got a nice, solid list of B hits.
It was a performance where just the sassy one came out, and it was at some kind of an award show. And it was recent, and it was him singing that song to a very large stadium, and he crushed it, and they were going ape poop over it.
Yeah, that's the thing about those two brothers is they've got some pretty solid songs. And so I just wonder, I assume they won't do anything but Oasis because I can't even imagine the fighting that would come between them trying to figure out whose songs they're going to play. But yeah, Liam, I have one of my playlists called Everything's Electric.
Oh, I love that song.
That's a great song, isn't it? It sounds.
Or I might be thinking She's Electric by Oasis.
Okay, maybe, but he's got a few. That,
Yeah,
are
they
pretty
both
good.
they both had solo albums that I enjoyed multiple tracks on. They had some good songs on there.
Yeah, Noel has a song called "What a Life" that is a really solid, kind of a moving little alternative pop song.
The opening line is, "I fucking hate my brother. I want him to bloody die.
But not as much as I hate his wife.
But we want some money, so we'll get him back together."
Andrew said, yes, I did also buy ticket insurance in case they can't keep it together and break up.
That was smart.
Yeah.
I bet the people that bought Fuji's tickets wish they had.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Ticket insurance? What?
You can get insurance for anything now.
Yeah, you really can. But it's tricky. You better read the disclaimer because I bought ticket insurance for some airfare that I purchased. And then I didn't go on the trip. And then I was like, oh, no big deal. I bought the ticket insurance. I'm just going to go click, click, try to get my money back. And they were like, click, click, no. They only give you your money back for certain things, like somebody has to die, or you have to have a note from a doctor, or like it's all these like act of God, like weather event. Like it's all these things. It can't just be that your plans changed.
I can get you a doctor's note.
I know you can.
I know a guy.
You do? Okay.
I used to know a guy who would make the best fake doctor notes.
Yeah?
And I never did it for drugs or anything like that, but I did use it for to get my goatee at a golf course.
And it worked.
It worked.
What kind of idiot let that fly?
I don't know, man, but it was
What kind of dumb golf manager was like, oh yeah, he's got a doctor's note for a goatee.
They would let me keep my goatee, but you could have a fucking creepy mustache. That was cool.
Yeah.
But can't clean golf clubs with a goatee. I'm like, fuck that, man. I was fat at the time. I want to cover up my chin. Like, I need to get a goatee. I got to figure this out. They wouldn't let you grow a beard or a goatee, and I wanted to cover up my fat face. Like, I'm gonna get a doctor's note. Hey, bud, can you help me out? And he printed up. Jason's got a skin condition where he must have a goatee, and they bought it. And I was allowed to have a goatee.
That's pretty amazing.
At this point, the guy, just let the guy have a goatee.
I wonder where that
Yeah.
manager is today that had to read that note. And did he know it was bullshit?
Well, we do have one of the women that worked in HR. I don't know if she still works there, but she worked there for a while and listens to our show.
She has to not work there anymore. But once she not works there anymore, I would love to have her on and say, what was that like when he presented this doctor's note from a physician that you needed a goatee and it was medically necessary? And then was anybody in the office like wanting to call bullshit?
Medically necessary goatee.
It's ridiculous.
Please, if those people are still here local.
When you say it out loud. It's
And
just,
the guys in
It's insane.
the back room, they go, how the fuck did you pull this?
You were doing radio bits before you had a radio show.
Oh, yeah.
And Jennifer was talking about how employees have had to deal with difficult situations. Jaybird's buddy, girl that is one of his employees, is getting complaints because she's wearing belly shirts. And you call them belly shirts, which makes it sound cute. If you call it a gut shirt, it doesn't sound hot, does it?
Flab shirt.
And
Belly
that,
shirt's like, oh, it's cute. It's a belly shirt. It's like a gut shirt. It's like,
well, that's what just so if you didn't hear this segment, that's the big problem.
She got a
People
gut hanging
are
out, yeah.
complaining about. I guess it's very distracting.
I've
It's
seen
very
it.
distracting.
I've seen people that have done it. That
It's a move.
it is a move, and I've seen it. I've seen people
Look,
do that.
Good for you. If you're confident,
Yeah.
rock it, and you feel good. But if you're in a professional environment
Right.
and you're in a insurance
Office.
office, like that's usually not going to fly.
Jennifer said when she worked at Disney, she said that we had a girl we worked with that had a horrifying body odor in her lady bits.
Tuna Tammy,
She had rotten crotch.
if you can smell it from where you are,
So-
3 feet away from it?
Yeah, so they all noticed, and what had happened was Tuna Tammy came in one day and threw her skirt over a floor fan, and immediately 6 people were just, "Ugh."
Why would she do that? Why would she do that?
Maybe she was trying to dry it out because she was sweaty.
She has excessive crotch sweat.
Was
maybe.
she a costumed character?
This is making my stomach flip.
So the manager had to sit down Tuna Tammy and let her know, and she had to go right to the employee locker room and take a shower and change her costume. So uncomfortable for both of us, but very necessary.
We're sure it's the tuna. It's not
She
the.
said horrifying body odor from her lady bits.
It could be Connie Clam.
Oh, it could be Sally Snatch.
It could be Sally Snapper Snatch.
Oh,
That's a
snapper snatch.
Oh, let's get Sally Snapper Snatch on the stage. Oh, yeah. Sally Snapper Snatch.
Yikes.
It's an amazing name.
Hard to say.
See, Sally Snapper Snatch is kind of hot.
Yikes.
Betty Bush.
And how,
Betty Bush is great, too.
and how about dealing with this if you're a boss? Nina said, an old boss said she was pregnant. And so everybody on our staff was buying her snacks at lunch all the time. I even hosted a baby shower, and she had the PTO and
Paid
maternity
time
leave.
off, yeah.
Yeah, paid time off. She returned to work, and she stated that she didn't name the baby yet. She only called it the newborn. And then later it came out, and she had to confess that she was never even pregnant. She faked the whole thing just to get a long bit of time off, was fired immediately.
That's diabolical. Like, how do you think that that's going to end? When you start that ruse,
Unreal.
Like, did you just not at all think that this was going to have an ending to it?
She probably was going to do the old fake miscarriage thing.
No, she had.
She took the time off to go be with the newborn.
I'm stupid. I got to listen a little bit more.
Yeah.
So the move is, after you do your time off with the newborn, you quit. You don't come back and then not have a baby.
Or you do the stillborn thing. You don't come
Stillborn
back and
would
say,
work.
yeah, I don't have a name for it. We just call it the newborn. And people are like, that's when people are probably like, okay, it's like 6 months and you haven't named your kid yet? That's odd.
I can't find her. I put her on the couch and I just can't. Misplaced her. Okay, what's for lunch today?
That's weird.
That is a really weird thing.
She might have a problem.
Yes, it's called
mental.
It's called lying. it's called dishonesty.
Yeah. You know, I think there are varying degrees of mental illness.
Sure.
Where, you know, some people might hit themselves in the face with a shoe, but then other people just. What are you pointing at?
The balls on this
Right,
one
huh?
discussing mental health is insane. At least I know I'm fucking crazy.
I think I'm doing great.
Yeah, I know you do. I know. Kevin, I'm texting you right now.
It's just amazing from this side of the room watching this. Is he going, I know I'm crazy.
I forget that I have this on sometimes.
What a clip that was. I'm like, yeah, and?
Right, we'll just take that clip.
I know I'm crazy.
Jason's going through something.
Madness.
You're right. That clip alone is not good. It's not a good look, Bird.
Oh, my God. Wow. What a show this is, huh?
Don't worry, we do have health insurance and mental health is included.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna. It's on the list. It's like 15th or 16th.
Again, we're working from the ground up.
7 specialists.
We're not there yet, Virginia.
The last thing, the old head doctor.
We figure that might take the most time.
We've saved the hardest for last.
That's right, baby. All right, y'all, enjoy your day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.